we're going to use the Excel template for exercise 115 to show you how Excel is a natural program for using and doing financial and accounting problems. So what we need to do is first get some of the pre-formatted templates that are already available in your textbook. If there's a link on Moodle at the top of the page that will give you a link to the website for the books, for the free website for the book. But if not, you can type in the link for the webpage, www.wiley.com, Wiley the name of the book publisher, not Wiley Plus, /college, / the name of the author, Kimmel. You'll see plenty of textbooks. We want the one that looks like ours, the bicycle here, the 7th edition, and we're going to visit the Student Companion site. You could try the Instructor Companion site, however, our book rep will let me know that you tried, and I don't think you want to do that. There's both an Excel primer, which is just a book to help you understand Excel better, especially if you've never looked at it, and then there's the templates. If you click on Chapter 1, you can download the templates. I've already downloaded the templates and opened one up and just added a little bit of writing on it to help you. So when you open the templates, there's always a sheet that has instructions. A workbook is what an Excel file is called, and the instructions, because this is a pre-formatted template made by somebody from your publisher, is always on the left-hand sheet. You don't want the instructions, you want exercise 115, E1-15 template. I've written some things on here to help you. Every good Excel template will have a block of assumptions that you can reference and link to later in the worksheet. For your book problems, these will be the numbers and details needed to do the problem. What we're going to see is we don't want to use Excel like a typewriter where we just type all the titles in if we already have them written. Even copying and pasting isn't as good if it's typed in the way you want it as using an equal sign with a cell reference. So I want you to be able to do that where possible. So for account title, this is asking us to break these 11 accounts into assets, liabilities, and equity. What we're going to do is we're going to hit equal, and then we're going to hit or click on the cell that contains the title we want, the first asset. So equal cash, which is in cell C8, and hit enter. So within cell G19, what the account title is, we reference cell C8 with the equal sign. To get the amount, the 2.291 million, hit equal, click on I8, which is the cell with the amount, and you hit enter. What I like about this, if I want to change things later, let's just say the controller wants cash and cash equivalents as the title. I type it in the assumptions, and it automatically updates the reference. For now, I'll just undo that, but it's important to know. The next asset, accounts receivables and assets, so I'll go into cell G20 and I'll hit equal and click on the cell with the account receivable, which is cell C9. You could also just type it in. Enter the amount, equal, click on the cell I9 with the amount and hit enter. Now common stock is an equity account, so we don't want to use that. Notes payable is a liability. The next account with an asset, number 5, is buildings. So hit equal in the account title, click on cell C12 and hit enter to get buildings. For the amount, equal, click on I12 and hit enter to get the amount for the building. Mortgage payable is a liability. We'll come to that later. Let's go back up to 7, where inventory is the next. equals, click on cell N8 for inventory and hit enter. The amount corresponding to inventory will be entered in cell N22 and equals the amount in cell T8. Okay, now income tax payable to liability, equipment is the next asset. To get the amount in cell N23, we hit equal and we hit the amount for equipment. Now, we've had all these titles, and this is great, and we want a formula that adds them together. Formulas start with an equal sign and contain operators like plus, minus, multiply, divide. Instead of ending like your calculator with an equal sign, we'll start with it, and when we're done with the arguments, we hit enter. And I'm going to click on cell N19. I want to add to that, so I hit a plus, cell N20, add a third cell, N21. What if by mistake I add N21 twice? I go up to the line with the formula and just delete it. I go to N22, and then I add N23. So I'm adding 5 cells together, the equals at the beginning instead of at the end, like your calculator. And I get 13, actually this is in millions, so it's $13.25 billion. One thing I like, again, not only do titles change and update, but numbers change and update. This happens often in accounting and in analyses. It allows you what if. What if cash were 5 million, 5,000 million, sorry, 5 billion. Notice the number would change at the bottom, not only here in cash, but also in total assets. I'm going to undo that so that we get the answer that's in the book. Now let's look at liabilities. We already noticed some liabilities before. We said cash and receivable are assets. Common stock is equity. So we have notes payable as our first liability. Click on the account title cell G27, hit the equal sign, and hit the dollar amount for notes payable. For the amount, click on the equal sign. Click on the amount associated with notes payable in I-11 and hit enter. We knew building was an asset, so it looks like the next possible liability is mortgage payable. Lots of liabilities end with the word payable, but there are liabilities that do not have the word payable in them. For this one, equals the amount associated with mortgage payables, I-13. Okay, equals. Okay, we know inventory is an asset. Looks like the next possible thing is income tax payable. Let's hit an equal with the amount in cell T9 for the amount of income taxes payable. Equipment's an asset, retained earnings equity, so the last liability appears to be accounts payable. Equal, hit accounts payable, and then enter. Equal, click on the 2815.8 in accounts payable, which is in cell T12. So instead of just using the equal sign and a bunch of pluses to add these cells together, there's a pre-formatted formulas that can make your life a little easier. If all you want to do is add a bunch of numbers, we can use the sum function. The sum function will add a bunch of adjacencies that are near to each other. So there's literally in the home button an auto sum, and it actually adds the ones we want to. If we want to add more or less numbers, we can pull the sum box up or down. So the sum from cells N27 to cells P30. This is a block with a colon from the upper left-hand corner to the bottom right-hand corner. N27 is upper left, P30 is the bottom right. These three columns, NOP, have been joined together, and you'll see they have this little merge in center. So they've added them together to make them bigger. Okay, so that's an easier way to do it. Now, just to get you a little bit further, I'm going to take you to the solution. Also, before we do that, if you just wanted to type in equal sum, hey, it even tells you the name of the function and what it does. You want to add, there's a bunch of various sums that might be more specific than just adding, and there could be 100 numbers. I typed equal sum, and I dragged the cells that I want to sum. Sorry, I typed equal sum. Most important is you have to have a parentheses. I drag in the cells I want to sum, and then I have the right parentheses and hit enter. So let's look to the solution just briefly because we can't do everything very quickly. And you'll notice we've done everything for assets, liabilities, and equity. They want to know that assets equal liabilities plus equity. Well, if we have assets and liabilities equal stockholders' equity, we have these things here. And there's room here to type an answer. So hopefully this will help you understand what formulas and cell references are and how they can make your life easier. You can review this before doing the Chapter 3 Excel. Thank you.